A very warm good evening. This is Arunava Chaudhuri. It's the 10th of January. It's a Saturday evening, and it's another Indian football discussion on a day that, let's see, and where we go with things. And the first bit of news is a very good one. The FIFA World Cup Trophy Tour, which is back in India for the first time since 2010, January 2010. The trophy had visited India 16 years ago. And it has been announced on the sidelines of that the Coca-Cola company would be sponsoring, or maybe not sponsoring, maybe supporting whatever it is, the Indian women's football national team. So that's good. And yeah, let's wait and see. So that's a little bit of good news on that front. But on the other sides, let's see what happens. And at the start of this live, let's talk about the things which are important, as always, for me. Like, share, and subscribe Arunfoot here on YouTube. Visit my other social medias, visit arunfoot.com. And again, we stand at 3,693 people who have subscribed to the channel. So maybe today we can reach the 3,700 mark. And of course, like as you can, if you like it, and even like it afterwards, then you join in. Sorry, where did I go? Renal says that AIFF says finalizing of broadcast commercial partner, but who will broadcast if the league plays and which commercial partner? I don't see anyone with brain becoming the partner in current constitutional clauses. Do you see an AIFF amending some clauses in the future? Renal, we've spoken about this now quite a lot in the last few days. Uh, uh, you know, uh, you know. So to me, at the current status, there's no changes to that. If there are changes to the clauses within the AFF constitution regarding ownership of the top tier league, then that will only happen under new AFF leadership. That is what I think at the moment. Many players have agreed to take pay cut, but there are players who are not ready to take pay cuts. Tom, I don't know where you're getting that information from. Again, I've said this multiple times. There are a lot of news outlets and people was telling you, oh, this is happening, that is happening, this is happening, that is happening. Again, as long as it's not being confirmed by the clubs or by the players themselves, do not believe all of this, please, because a lot of people, uh, uh, um, you know, it's just, there are talks happening. I did a video on that earlier today. If you want to really understand where we stand, and people don't seem to even know the numbers which we're talking about. So please be careful when people tell you whatever they're telling you. AFF not solving club queries, instead saying them to confirm home venue by 12th. Also in today's letter sent to club, AFF made new deadlines because they missed today. Yeah, Rudra. So this is the reality, that the deadline today was missed. So today was the deadline of saying, hey, listen, till today evening, um, you know, tell us, are we doing this? Are we not doing this? Or can we go ahead? Can we not go ahead? The situation, and I spoke to someone whose club have confirmed, and I've asked him, is there an opportunity that actually the clubs who've confirmed, might they opt out if the AFF says, listen, we're going to do a league which is not going to be 14 teams, are going to be less. That is, and I was shocked to hear when I spoke to that club official saying, oh, okay, this is not something that we've thought about. We think, and there's another rumor going around that if Ozisha, which is most likely the one that we will talk about, who could opt out completely, if Odisha opts out, is Churchill Brothers a replacement? Also, a rumor being put out there, as far as I know. Again, let's wait and see what happens. Hi, Kumar. Welcome back. Raul Becker, office from East Bengal. Mono Parjinal said, no, he won't be sold. And now, because he has high wages, these guys are looking to sell Beke. Shoham, let's wait and see what happens, what doesn't happen, and this, that, and everything. Um, the clubs have a lot of questions to answer, all of them, individually and all of them. And to me, so therefore, let's wait and see. And yeah, I don't think Coca-Cola is bring by Chobe. I think there may be some more people involved, possibly sports ministry. So none of the two are involved. Rudro, Coca-Cola has come to India. To me, because of the FIFA World Cup Trophy Tour. So they are in India for that. And it is one of those legacy things that Coca-Cola does things in respective countries. And so to me. That was not done by Kalyan. That was not done by the sports ministry. This is an initiative that Coca-Cola does whenever they go in countries. They leave something behind. So this is like a legacy project linked to the FIFA World Cup trophy visits, which they also did in 2010. So therefore, none of these people proactively did something. This is happening on the sidelines. They were invited. It was announced. It was done. And Kumar, I don't know if it's a barter deal or any money, to be honest. With IPL starting in 2 months, do you think it will affect ISL? Sure. Those who care about football care about football. Those who care about cricket care about football. Care about cricket. Again, if cricket is your problem and you say you're not going to run the league, then there's no need to start the league now, because you've got the World Cup next month, and then you've got the IPL. So if cricket is our competition, which is not, and therefore let's wait and see what happens. But to me, that's not a conversation we need to have. The IPL is on a different level, on a different path. We football is about question again. We need to basically ask ourselves in regard to football is, are we doing the right things for Indian football to move up in the right direction? And the way that the AIFF is doing this, they are with the league holding the way they're trying to hold it now, they are creating more damage than a sustainable future. This is the thing. And therefore, I go back what I've been saying now a few days. If you want the right things to happen, these people actually factually need to resign immediately. Immediately. Reach out to FIFA AFC, put in a normalization committee, then hold elections whenever they're supposed to hold elections. But in the meantime, start conversations with potential commercial partners, or start also how you can rectify the constitution. The constitution desperately needs rectification. It needs corrections. Otherwise, we're not going to move forward. Uh, who does Jadip Basu think he is, calling actual problems after clubs as delayed tactics? Aditya, again, all these people have their own agendas. Today, I'm your friend. Today, you're my enemy. Again, wasn't he speaking against the AIFF? Isn't he one of those people who've created problems? He's part of those people who went to the Supreme Court in the AIFF Constitution case. So these people are part of the problem. They're not part of the solution. They never were part of the solution. They are part of the problem. Call these people out. That is what I will call, I'm sorry to say, but can Bengali need to stop worshipping AFF? I think, Aditya, the Bengali intellectuals are not worshipping the AFF. The Bengali intellectuals who understand things are not worshipping anything. The problem is, you know what? A lot of people who are normally very, very vocal about a lot of things are suddenly very calm and quiet given this whole ISL scenario. Very, very calm and quiet. Limited things you will hear from people, right? Um, so therefore, this is where we are. Will there be this season? No idea. I again, if someone told me to, oh, people committed in front of the sports minister, it was a conditional commitment. What is a conditional commitment? It was not unconditional, right? Unconditional was said, okay, we'll play whatever you tell us. That was done by supposedly 8 entities, where we're now down to 7, right? It was 8-4, 6 against. Now it's supposedly 7-7. So who's the turncoat who says, I'm not really happy with what you guys are telling us? People in the clubs have to realize that this is not in your interest to play. And whoever's saying yes to this, you actually don't deserve to be in the system. You individuals, you know who you are, right? This system needs a cleanup, and a lot of people also in the clubs do not deserve to be in Indian football because you are part of the problem. Let's say what it is. We have a huge problem. What a story in FA Cup today. Rudra, I haven't watched the FA Cup, so therefore, again, I don't know who's beaten whom. Let me just check if I can figure out who's beaten whom. Been watching Bundesliga, actually. So, where are the scores? Let's see. I guess you're talking about Macclesfield winning 2-1 against Crystal Palace, I guess would be the story. Yeah, go on. Churchill Brothers are perfectly fit to play in this low-tier league, says Aditya. How can clubs like Mohammedan Sporting accept to play in this season where transfer ban last season because of salaries, but top revenue clubs like Carrollson's abuse not yet confirmed? Lucifer, because for Mohammedan Sport, if we are in a normal season, let's say if we were in a normal season and Reliance was running the league, Mohammedan Sporting would have never played this season of the ISL. Let's be very, very clear. Mohammedan Sporting would have been thrown out of the league. But because we are in the situation where we are in, And Mountain Sporting has made clear we will play with an Indian squad. Mountain Sporting, you know, um, Mountain Sporting, in the situation they find themselves in, should be playing ISL, right? But again, it does not matter because who looks at your financials? Who looks at are you going to be paying your players? Because you can now say, oh, listen, I'm going to reduce salaries. This whole salary reduction thing, which is worth the conversation, but there needs to be some sort of system across the board, right? It's not like, And this is part of the problem. How can club confirm home venue if they are not clarity on cost, franchisee fee, broadcast? Rudra, forget home venue. Your problem is that certain home venues are not available to you. Mumbai City has a problem. Mumbai Football Arena most probably will not be available. I'm hearing the same problem seems to be with Chennai FC, with the Nehru Stadium in Chennai. So where do these clubs then play? Right? There were other teams who were saying, "Hey, listen, I want to play at home because I need to activate my fans. I need the money coming in through my home matches." Other teams saying, "Hey, listen, I need it because I have some local sponsors." So the problem is what I've been saying for weeks that these 14 clubs are not talking as one entity. Do we want these 14 clubs to actually run the league? This is this whole scenario just proves the point that I've been saying for a long, long time. The AIFF is incompetent to run league. The clubs themselves cannot run it. So the whoever the commercial partner is, right? Uh, that's the only way forward. But who's going to be that commercial partner? Because AFF has done everything to get rid of FSDL and Reliance. Those are learnings, and these are learnings are not being taken because people are taking decisions out of desperation. That is our biggest problem at the moment, if you ask me. If you look at what the situation where we are and what the problems are for us at the moment. So Chennai will play ISL. Raju, no clarity. At the moment, Odisha FC, Bangalore FC, Mumbai City, Chennai FC, FC Goa, and 6 teams. I'm not sure if they're playing, and supposedly there's a seventh one. I don't even know because Sporting Club Delhi is at least training. Why East Bengal FC signing replacement for two foreigners doesn't make any sense. Rudra, the Kolkata clubs and their signings are not. Mohun Bagan will also try and get rid of players, and so that's the thing. People in India are so gullible. No wonder Mughals took 600 years and Brits took 200 years. Yeah. They really think sports minister made everyone happy. Yeah. Yeah. That's the problem. FC Goa shut operation. Is it true? Blue, they've, for the moment, the operations FC Goa shut. Yes. There's a Marcus article, detailed article on that FC Goa no longer is active at this moment as I speak to you. Yeah. Good evening, Blue. Macclesfield beating Palace. Yeah, happens. That's the fun of cup competition. Let me be honest, Arunda. I've always felt it. People straight up hate Odisha FC. They never appreciate the AFC run. And before they were think AFC Women's campaign didn't have recognition either. Aditya, I don't know if, again, maybe, sorry, and you might not like it. Do people care about Odisha FC? Again, that would be then my question. If you think that they hate our Odisha FC, I don't think so. I think most people wouldn't care. And the women's game, forget women's game. How many people are caring how well East Bengal and Anthony Andrews are doing, right? That should be the talking point. You know, is renovation of Jalen Stadium Kochi finished? Lucifer, I don't know that. People have told me that it's finished, but then people show you, send you footage and say, it's not, it's not. So again, if someone could go down and check, that would be great. Bengali intellectuals are not worshipping AFF. Only a section of supporters of a club official are looking at this as this their salvation because that official is meeting with KCN IFA president. Okay, that IFA president also owns small PR machinery at the moment. Sorry, IFA secretary. Yeah, Palash, that's the point, right? Because the secretary now, Oniman Datta, said, "Oh, you know what? We brought the solution. We three from the committee, whatever." Again, guys, no, you didn't. Good evening. Siddharth, so Coca-Cola supporting women's football. India, Kalyan Chowbe's statement. I don't know what Kalyan Chowbe's statement is, but this is the thing that I said earlier on. Coca-Cola FIFA trophy for the first time 16 years in India. 2010 was the last time in January that it was there in Kolkata. I'd been involved. Lothar Matthäus was there, and Jyoti Basu died, and the whole event actually fell through. Right. So these are some of the facts. If you, we, I do like it or not, and therefore great that Coca-Cola has come forward. Last year, these days, Kalyan just talked about VR Lite. I want to know that stuff he used. So that I don't think you want. The day Odisha FC will leave the system, will prove once and all that Indian football system doesn't deserve investment because we have people who want to fill their pockets. Aditya, again, yeah, you feel strongly about your club, others feel strongly about theirs. Hi, Utsav, what will be the prize money or like EPL and other, does club get any money based on position? Utsav, yes. In every potential league, clubs get money. There is not prize. They wouldn't call it prize money. It is money from the central pool that the clubs get. There is actually no prize money per se. And of course, depending on ranking, depending on certain parameters, they also get money in regard to television rights. So did you know details about the Coca sponsorship deal? No, I don't. I don't know details about it. Again, it's most probably CSR from Coca-Cola India as part, as I say, once again, FIFA World Cup Trophy Tour. FIFA World Cup Trophy is in India at this moment as I speak, and therefore that is part of it. Yes, the Coca-Cola sponsorship date is real. Now, Kolan Chaube won the FIFA World Cup today as he announced Coca-Cola sponsorship. Yeah, maybe he did. When did you, with the AFF Indian football? I never worked per se for AFF Indian football. There's even one project which is on the back burner, which I'm still working on Indian football. But again, I've never left Indian football per se. God, I promise myself not to return to football with this damn federation and this eternal damnation of this incompetent club called Udishasi. Yeah, Aditya, I told you, you told me a while back that you will not be there. Kalyan Chaube said Coca-Cola was sponsored 3 years. Yes. Again, I've put out a tweet, simple tweet about it, which says it all. So therefore, for me, guys, very simple. What did I tweet? Coca-Cola have announced on the sidelines of the FIFA World Cup Trophy Tour in India that they would be supporting the Indian football women's national team for the next 3 years. Nothing more, nothing less. That is all, right? Kalyan Chaube will sell it as his, but yeah. Just come back to AFF Arunda. Aditya, why? Ananda, I remember 1, 2 months ago, I told you about my brother Gavit, who was with Northeast United and couldn't make it to UCN. He has moved to Germany. He gave trials and selected Oberliga fifth year. Good, good, good. If he's got into Oberliga, not bad for him. Is sponsoring ISL? Rudro, haven't heard this. New to me. I've not heard this. Yeah. Anyone said East Bengal fans. Okay. Everything points to the very fact that the league will be no less than the IWL, and fans, clubs, owners are up for it, or at least 7 of them. How have they not hit a common ground on this is simply beyond me. Simon, the problem is, as I said a little earlier, and I had this discussion with a few people today. The problem is that at the end of the day, finding common ground, you know. So therefore, it sadly is the way it is, right? So therefore, for me, for you, we try to go with logic and try to see what is in the best interest of the game. And I feel that a lot of people are not really working towards the best interest of the game because they don't realize what is the best interest of the game, right? That is part of the problem that we're facing at the moment, in my opinion, is that the 14 clubs needed to speak with one voice. So therefore, that is um, that is very, very important. But they've not been able to. If DD Sports becomes a broadcaster, where will they stream it? Don't they stream sports on YouTube? Clubs already told they don't want YouTube streaming, right? Prasad, we'll have to wait and see what you're talking about. Streaming, broadcast. Let the league happen first. I said this yesterday, last 2 days, right? I've said this again and again, guys. Guys, let us sort out that it's happening or not. You know, you know. Um, So therefore, for me, right, um, you've gone to step three, step four, step five before actually step one is that everyone is confirmed. We're fast forwarding to pre NFL days. Fragmented Cubs will be called Indian football. Blue, it looks like it. That is a big danger. So, like Indian cricket players, why don't a football player get any ad deals if they build image, right? Big sponsor for ISL can come in for the exchange of advertising. What's up? Players do ad deals, not big ones, but they do ad deals. Now, Bhattacharya, after becoming secretary of the North 24 District, not 24 Parganas District Sports Association, said what IFS has done for the CF is actually better than AIFF and ISL. See, and then you know what these guys are doing, right? Coca is Coca and that is doing PR again. Yeah. DD Sport have their own OTT waves, which is good, sir, but let's see. Again, we are talking about something which is not happening, you know? Will they give some kind of money to women's football? Hannibal, I'm not sure if they're going to give money to Indian football, but from what I'm hearing, it is not even the women's team. It's the Indian women under 17s team. So again, let's see. Arunava and his team came up with this AFS asset plan. First, that's why I scratch your back, you scratch my back. Yes, only women's football. I remember now that I told you about this and you said that I will return because I love Indian football. Just guess you're right. I can't live without it. See, that's what I told you. I'm in the same club. So Arunda, I want to ask, like he's 16 years old and now will play in Germany 50th from here. How should he plan himself to grow and all? Next gen blue, again, if he's joined a 50-year club in the Oberliga, and he's 16. He's not playing for the Oberliga team, right? He's going to play for one of the youth teams. I don't know what level the youth team plays. So that's your first question. And should he plan himself and grow? Um, again, there are a lot of things. If he's coming from India and he's gone there, you'll have to figure out something, right? So again, if I don't know the player, I don't know it's very difficult to give an advice. The name of my company is Arun Kola. I want to do a revolutionary PR for sponsoring, but I won't go inside Indian men football. It's a help it. I perhaps should simply sponsor women's football. Yeah. Kerala CEO Abhig Chatterjee replied to one comment that he will announce soon enough whether Kerala will participate or not. Yeah, Kumar. Let's see. See quality of CFL now, but it then compares no proper stadium. It's again, what will Kerala do if not participate in ISF? They'll wither away. Maybe, maybe not. You know, the question to me is if you look at the situation we are in, um, um, does it make sense or doesn't it make sense to participate? I think that is a general question that we're not talking about at the moment, right? I think we need to talk about does it actually factually make sense for any of the teams to play or not, right? Sir, if clubs want to trigger force measures, don't you think players from the six teams will say league was happening, but you intentionally want a contract reward? They can raise this at FIFA. Utsav, there is no force majeure. The league is supposedly happening, huh? So you don't have a force majeure situation at the moment. You can only trigger a force majeure situation when the league is not happening. And now, at least on paper, for now, the league is happening. Usually, umbrella to treat a player with ACL injury. I think I've seen peak CFL, and I think it's 10 times better. Okay, is Delhi FC relegated to I League or I League 2 or not? Blue, according to Kalyan Chaube, yes. Right? Because he said it's an 11-team league, which means that Delhi FC are not part of the I League. Right? So, but again, said that Hyderabad paid all their pending dues and salaries before they moved to another city. Yes, it's a. They cleared it last year itself. Once the BS Jindal group stepped in. I'm not getting good news about Delhi FC. Not a good news to me means good news for them. Let's hear that. So why legend not succeed in ISL is age of game time. Player like Roberto Carlos will not get good, get success in ISL. It might be different reasons. As you say, some are old, some were old, Indian conditions, a lot of matches in a short space of time at the time, when they were playing. So there's not one reason. At this point, all the big clubs should refuse to participate and pressure AFF to fix the things. If not now, then never. Hannibal, the funny part is, um, you know, um, you know, is that where we stand at this moment in time, the clubs are not speaking with one voice. And if you're talking about big clubs and you have Mohun Bagan and East Bengal saying, "Oh, we'll play," right? It's gonna be difficult, right? Hi, Ochut. Coca-Cola India was supporting you said the women's national for 3 years. Send your report. Yeah, thanks, Ochut. Saw it. So that's the confirmation. Again, so far it's only been, yeah, only been about women's football now. I guess the specialization on the under 70s. Good idea. Let's celebrate. Said X9P. At least we can enjoy fake survivors tears. Let's see, Blue. So that means even if clubs don't want to play, I said they have to pay the salaries regardless. Utsav, at the moment, yes, but the clubs are not paying. So that's the question. That's the question. If you don't participate, what is your status? It's not. It's this is moved into sort of law and law in regard to compensation, other things. So therefore that needs to be looked at and discussed. But again, that's a very tricky thing. Rather, do you think clubs should have pressed the force majeure button in the contract in September, October? Kumar, I've said September, you could have before Super Cup announcement, or you could have done it in November, December, you know, um, post post Super Cup group stage. Yeah. If ISL somehow happens this season, then what are the plans for next season? Will they try to find an FSDL type of deal, or this poverty league forever? Hannibal, again to all of you. It is nice that you're thinking about the future. I'm thinking about the now. I've forgotten thinking about the future. People want to talk about a commercial partner. They're talking about broadcasting, television rights, this, that, everything. You're talking about next year. Nobody cares. Uh, you know. So that's the reality. That is the reality. That's the problem. That you are talking about. The AIFF wants the clubs to sign a 20-year contract, and these guys are not going to be there even later this year. It's a joke. And in that case, can clubs do the same next year as well? We don't know what is next. Again, guys, don't think about next year. Don't even think about next week. Think about tomorrow. Listen, we are in Indian football, we're going day to day. We're not going from tomorrow to next week to the end of the month to next month to whatever. This is a daily exercise of where we stand. Why do we keep discussing we should convey the message to government issue of allowing OCI player to play for the India football team and give them temporary passport? We want to see India number one football. Pinchai, you know what? How many times I've said this to different sports ministers and the AFF? Um, there's nothing. So therefore, nice idea, not happening. Hey Anish, good evening. Just had one question. If there's any possible to start the league by 14th, even if we sort everything as half the teams have not yet even started training. Anish, forget the training. We have a problem. You know, uh, 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 you know, um, grounds. Forget the training part. Most teams have an issue with their grounds, stadiums. So where are we playing? Right. So we are in a situation where everything is vague. Let's play. Let's do this. Let's do that. Nothing. As I've warned you in the last 3, 4 days, I was, when the news came out, all of us celebrated it, right? We're all happy, right? It was 4 days ago, right? 4 days ago, we were celebrating, hey, things are happening. Tuesday night. Today's the 10th. We're back to square one over the last 3 days. Supposedly all 14 confirmed. Then they said, oh, 13. Then, right? 6. Now you're saying 7 are not saying yes. So what's happening? When a news channel interviewed Ariman Datta, he said, it may seem that the clubs have formed a group, but there are differences of opinion between them. That's how we crack them. See, Balash, divided rule, and this will hurt. This shows the incompetency of these guys. Oniman, with all due respect, this is BS. If you've said this, right, it shows that you are in a position where you should not be in, my friend, with all due respect. But again, that I think I say that to most of you guys, right? Because you guys are destroying more than you're doing for football. You don't even realize what you're doing. You guys are so incompetent in what you do. Go back to whatever you're doing in your other lives. Don't do football, guys. This is really bad. This is really bad. Is it Kalya Chobe can't ask government to arrange commercial partner cases fraud? Being honest, what happens means happen. ISF somehow same condition in next year. Yes, ISF will not happen. Chance 1%. X9P, what do you think about the government? Do you think the government is bothered? Do you think the sports minister is bothered? Mohun Began and East Began? Guys, no. You also think these guys are not, forget Kalyan, forget the sports, all these guys cannot do anything. You need a different level of political class to get involved. All the clubs should just shut down their shop, nothing more is left. Anyway, I think most of them should, right? Sir, today is 10 January broadcast tender update. Is there a league? I've told you guys, you're talking about broadcast, right? Every 5 minutes, someone comes out saying, oh, coming new into the room saying, hey, broadcast. There is no broadcast conversation. We don't even know if the league is happening and how many teams are playing. I somehow feel the long-term contract has been put in the back burner. Nobody cares about the long-term contract. Uchut, the problem is that we players, and I understand, listen, we are in a situation that a lot of Indian footballers have now not been paid for 6, 7, 8 months, right? That is on the clubs. I say that it is your fault that you're willing to pay those salaries, So that is as much as I always say, the AIFF can be blamed on a lot of things. A lot of things. But for overpaying of salaries, that's the fault of the clubs, right? News Coca-Cola Jones. Yes, Mayank, under 17 is going to be Coca-Cola. So what's stopping clubs like Mumbai SC to play at Goa? Did AIFF force them that they have to play in Mumbai? Utsav, why should Mumbai City is from Mumbai? If you're playing in a home and away format, right? If you're saying that is the format, then Mumbai City needs to try and figure out for itself if it can play in Mumbai or not, right? Or no? Why would Mumbai City go to Goa, right? Only if Mumbai City can't play play in Mumbai, then you'll go somewhere else. Because there's a lot of logistics involved. If that is what the AIFF wants to do, then okay. Because then Mumbai City, the staff, everyone can stay and work from home. Says KCN's Coca sponsors Coca-Cola event. Yeah, but again, it is FIFA World Cup Trophy Tour. Now the football we played in the air without having crowns. Yeah, maybe in the future, who knows? Maybe on the moon or on Mars, we might play it that way. But yeah, that's the craziness of things. At max, they will earn 1 or 2 lakhs in ticket sales in Mumbai. They better play at some other city. Who says that? Again, I love the confidence with which you try to explain why a club should play here, there, or not there. How do you know what they earn or what they don't earn? It's not about just earning, right? So why is Asif Khan say no, yes, sir? Many Indians have habit not say no. They say yes under pressure of government and government partners. Sir, 4th February, I will start. Sir, where stadium, ground, etc. It's like you just, we discussed this yesterday, day before, right? That the problem at the end of the day to me is that if you're sitting with the minister, you have to tell him what the problem is. And you've had 2, 3 meetings now with the sports ministry, and you've not told the people that from your perspective, what are the problems, right? And you're not speaking with one voice because there's also no leadership amongst the clubs, right? Because At the end of the day, what I said a while back, the question is, if there is a body of the 14 clubs plus the AFF, you have 15 entities and they will not speak with one voice. Therefore, you need a strong commercial partner who is going to call the shots and give what is best interest in the general thing. Again, FSDL, not everything they did was right, but at least there was a plan, a strategy, whatever is going forward. And it got organized. Basically, 12, 13 people used to fight for a small burger. Now the restaurant went broke and the sinister owner served rotten burger, but rather than complaining, some of the guys start fighting again. Yeah, good example about where we are. And the owners are bragging it's a successful scam. Yeah, that's the problem. We are in a situation that the AFF is incompetent. Right? Let's sum it up. At the moment, under this leadership, the AFF is incompetent. These people should never be in the positions they are in. But the problem is that the clubs needed to speak in one voice all together. This is one thing they're not able to do. The clubs are failing on that. You know? So a new AFF regime is the only thing that can help a footy forward right now. Right now, to me at the moment, yes. Because this AFF will not make the things, No, but if pitch isn't available, don't you think they should explore a nearby city where they can play? Utsav, where is the nearby city to play? There's a lot of logistics in the back end. Again, it's not like it's, oh, listen, you've got a ground there, let's play there. No, there's a lot of logistics around, travel, there's that, everything. Okay, so I don't know. FIFA trophy tour behind Casey speech, Coca-Cola sponsors, I think. X9P again. FIFA World Cup Trophy Tour powered by Coca-Cola. That started off today in Delhi. The announcement by Coca-Cola was done there. Coca-Cola sponsors it globally. The trophy goes around a global tour. So that is where the announcement was made. They're going to do a sponsorship. And now, as Uchut has said, someone has clearly stated, it's not even for the Indian women's team, it's for the women's under 17. I also think the sports ministry also doesn't care. They only care jumla jumla. It seems like ministry want to clear this issue at first. Which clubs were together in this, but we are in a complete mess. Yeah, Brendan. Ministry doesn't care. The minister, again, forget the name thing. As I said, I don't know, yesterday, day before, again, I've said so many things over the last few days. If the minister made a mistake with the spelling, pronunciation, or whatever of the club names, no problem if he did his job and helped Indian football to sort this out. But then he is being told stuff in the ear by Kalyan Chaubey, as you see on those videos which are available, where I think like Kalyan Chaubey should not be your whisperer. He doesn't know what he's talking about. Yes, as a club acting like India Lands, they himself divided, they can't come together about commercial partner broadcast, etc. X9P, the commercial and broadcaster has nothing to do with them. It's about the costings. Some of the clubs are saying, hey, we're willing to bear the cost. Some of the others are asking very valid questions. Right? Some are saying, as I told you a while back, Jamshedpur FC have for themselves said, you know what? We are willing to take the cost on us. We as Jamshedpur FC are willing to bear the cost. No problem. We'll bear the cost. Others are saying, like BFC, FC Goa, Mumbai City, hey, tell us what is this? Where? And how we're going to do it. Why not AFF cut down 1 crore fee from clubs so that it's a win-win situation for both sides? Because Arnav, then you don't have a budget for the running of the league. Those 14 crores are needed for the running of the league. Your problem is your whole calculation falls apart if, let's say, 4 entities don't play. Your numbers don't add up. Right? So that's the problem. If the clubs earlier asked for a complete waiver of the 1 crore fee. And the AFF can't say no because the AFF needs that money to run its system. Because it is, yeah. And why did they switch from a central one or two venue system to a home and away? Because it is less cost and less burden on them, because the clubs have to now do all this stuff. No? And the clubs are not, when the sports minister said, and they're saying, listen, help us to, get free grounds, which the sports minister can't do. Is he going to tell the Tamil Nadu government to give the Chennai stadium for free? Yes, divide rule. That's why British ruled over 200 years. Okay. So women team got sponsor Coca-Cola. Nishant, not Coca, women's under 17 women's will be supported for 3 years. Same person who spends crores on Messi tour wants to slash player salaries. Ocho, again, the Messi thing, uh, you know, um, um, to connect these two things is a difficult one, because the money that was spent on Messi is money that was never coming into the system, right? I think that is one thing that I've said, I think, multiple times. And on the other side, the question to that owner or to those owners is, what do you want? Be clear. They're not clear themselves. They're a lot of people all over the place, you know. So that's the situation. Morman is more than 100 years old, but what has it done to popularize football in North India? Avi, why do they need to do something to popularize football in North India? Right? Is I don't know, Manchester United doing something in London to popularize football? Is Barcelona doing something in Madrid to popularize football? This logic doesn't work. 2036 Olympics are first thing of getting at least medal in double digit, whereas Indian men going 2016 Rio and zero Indian men get Olympic medal 24, 7 medal Olympic, zero gold, 1.3 billion. Wasn't it six at the last Olympics? X9P? So AIFF is aiming for the 14 crore from clubs to run the league and the system with the club's money. And if the 14 crore doesn't come in, then they're doomed. That's why they're forcing on ISA clubs right now. Yeah. And my question on that is, again, we spoke on Mormon Sporting. Will Mormon Sporting actually play into the pool? That's my question. In an interview with Sports Minister Kalyan Chobe said they will go in Supreme Court and get one exemption for relegation when they then why clubs are doing this drama. Ishan, they're not doing this drama. They're asking questions. Forget the AFF has done nothing regarding relegation. There's not even a confirmation of that you're not going to have relegation. So that's the first thing. The second thing, it's about costing. Home venue costing, broadcast, commercial revenue, right? They are asking genuine questions. There is no drama. The drama was done by the sports minister and Kalyan Chaubey to announce, oh, you know what, we have a league. They fooled us. They lied to us. That is where we are, ladies and gentlemen. X9P has answered to Avi says, for football North India, you need to bring good performance internationally, not domestically. No one loves cricket and hockey. When hockey bring glory, North India start loving. X9P, does India love hockey? Or is it just saying that it's as a national sport, people love hockey? Again, they don't. Hockey India League is happening, nobody's watching. Empty stadiums. And this has been the case for the last 20 years. Whenever there's been hockey competitions, it has been mainly empty. Once in a while, you've had full venues, this and that, but overall, it's not succeeded. So that is a general problem. But I have to appreciate the club owners and clubs here for not pulling the plug by now. If I was the owner, I would shut the shop. Yeah, Renal, that's true. That's very true. Kumar says the sports ministry and bureaucrats do not know about sports culture, sports management, governance, entire sports ecosystem needs complete overhaul in sports management people. I mean, come on, what I've said. Sir, if 5-6 clubs will pull out, they have to move to 1-2 venue league. There's no other way. Utsav, I don't know what they're gonna do. Do they have a plan B? Do they don't have a plan B? They change their plans accordingly, right? I mean, the clubs say, yeah. I beg to differ. It will be equated because it's the same person. Other companies who spend on tour may not be part of the Indian football ecosystem. Ochu, there were 3 or 4 ISL club owners who had a part in that tour and they spent heavily. And now they're asking their players to take a pay cut. So therefore, and again, forget the people who are not part of the ecosystem. That's a different conversation. But there are 3, 4 really big corporates who are there, and that's the thing. Hey Raj, good evening. Welcome. No problem being late. Today was deadline for the tender, but it didn't happen probably because of competition clubs. Yeah, Nishan, what tender? What tender are we looking at? With brought again, is there any podcast interested? Again, Star has said no, Sony has said no, and then we are stuck with OTT platforms, right? It's either fan court, SCCN, and I don't even know if there's an alternative to that, right? And then it's DD Sports, right? So, reality. Coca-Cola sponsoring Indian women's team. No, so now we're under 17 women's for the next 3 years. And that's a CSR project from Coca-Cola. So no one loves hockey in India except some people say reason cricket success overshadows. No, it has nothing to do with cricket. Don't bring cricket into the conversation in regard to hockey, any other sport. Football is in India the number two sport, right? By by far, in my opinion, by far it is the number two sport. And hockey is, from an Olympic sport standpoint, the biggest success story India's ever had. That's it. Yeah. Hi, Jen Julian. If AIFF don't have funds to run league, why don't AIFF give away the league to ISL clubs? Jen Julian, the ISL clubs can't agree on anything. And they can't do it now because under the constitution, the AIFF have to be the owners of the league. Right? So it isn't that easy to say, guys, take over. Right, 47 minutes already on this live. Quick reminder, like, share, and subscribe. Arun Foot here on YouTube. 17 likes so far. Thanks a lot. Thank you as always for following. 3,695 subscriptions. So if you're new, if you're liking what we're talking about, subscribe to the channel, make your points, and yeah, be part of the family. Watch the short videos. I did something in regard to the salaries today. Yesterday, I spoke about the question of money. And again, ISL happening, ISL not happening. All these queries and questions. Preetham Kotal did an interview 4 or 5 days back, where Preetham was very, very honest. Actually, had lined up a few follow-up interviews, but with the situation being as it is, those people have said, listen, give us a little bit more time and then we can have the conversations. Hopefully next week, I'll be doing a set of interviews. So is it true that clubs have stopped paying their player salaries? If it has, why didn't any player raise this issue in public? Yeah, also, clubs have not been paying for 6, 7 months. Why did the senior players come out with this whole video, a few days ago? Because there are junior players who are literally haven't received, not literally, they have not received money for the last 6, 7, 8 months. Right? Players have sold off things, have some have even taken loans, this, that, everything. The situation is dire. Why haven't they spoken about it? Because if you speak, it's India. If you speak about it, you're going to be blacklisted. 6 months, sorry, my mistake. 2027. Yeah. ISL is the main entity among all other leagues which are in loss. Yeah. Yeah. Right. We are the biggest of all leagues. There's no doubt about it. And other people can say what they want. It is the case. But again, we are failing in our sporting ecosystem in India with the problems that you have. No one loves sports overall in India. Sports is taken as profession by majority to escape poverty, as majority poor people can't afford quality education. So Raval, yeah, and yes and no, because I think India has switched a little bit because I think there are people who love sports, um, uh, you know, and yeah. So to me, again, for the problem of as a profession, again, if you see sports as a profession without knowing how good or bad you are, it's a problem in my opinion. Almost 1 week gone since the February 14 announcement. Is silence. Don't know whether preparations underway or not. If not, or whether there will be any ISL or not, or maybe it will be like the Super Cup. Ochut, the problem is that today was supposed to be the next step of that calendar that the AIFF announced. That has been pushed. The confirmation, which was supposed to be on the 7th, is now going to be on Monday. So everything has been pushed. Um, and I think a lot of clubs have still the same questions that they had yesterday or today morning. So therefore, the AIFF is not answering questions. The AIFF is creating a timeline. And then the problem is if you don't have the 14 teams, the finances that they've worked out don't work, right? Their 24 point whatever budget they have. So yeah, that's the thing. So can you explain how finances work in home and away versus centralized venue? How is the centralized venue more costly than home and away as per AFF? People they reduced venues to reduce costs. Again, Anish, don't compare kabaddi or any other sport with football. Centralized venue, the problem is that compared to the home and away format, there's a lot of costs that is being pushed then to the clubs. So if you have a centralized venue, the AIFF has to run, you know, um, the whole system. The AIFF does, first of all, the AIFF doesn't want to run it. Secondly, the AIFF can't run it because the AIFF, if they have to run this, will have to bring in manpower and resources. And given the AIFF finances, who's willing to join the AIFF and work for the AIFF today, right? If let's say the AIFF tomorrow say, hey, Arunava, we want to bring you on board in some sort of capacity to help us run the league. Okay, pay me 100% of my salary in advance. Otherwise, I won't even consider it, even though I won't consider it anyway. But that's a different question, right? So the problem is, what is the cost? Centralized venue means, let's say just take Goa. If you have Goa, you have to maintain three venues. Your all the teams have to stay in hotels. Your crew has to stay in hotels. Everyone has to be kept in hotels. So that way, your costings theoretically from a centralized point for the AFF is a higher cost. On the other side, if you are playing home and away, maximum of the cost is pushed onto the home team. So it doesn't appear in your central costings. That's why you see they're saying 37 to 24, even though the 24 for me doesn't work. They're too low, you know? So that's the reality. Also, I feel AIFF is reluctant to amend the constitution now. AIFF does not want to. Forget reluctant. They don't want to amend the constitution. What you? So football is second. I accept Northeast in some parts of India and Kerala and West Bengal, some part of Punjab, etc. Like me, small number of football fans. So UP, MP, even mini Brazil in MP. Okay. All these owners are multi-millionaires. They need to have its own private league and share the revenues amongst us. AIFF should focus on national team alone. What's up? If it was so easy, again, they could have done it and tried it. But again, you had Reliance running the whole baby shebang for you, right? You didn't have to bother about ABCD, you know. And yeah, that's the thing. When you get sick, you give your body rest. If you keep working while you're sick, it will take a lot of time to recover. Anyway, dangerous example. Unless I forget about constitution for a moment, club owned league or federation owned league, which one is better? I would say club, because the AFF is in no position to do it. But in Indian context, I think it needs to be the commercial entity partner who actually needs to own and run it. Because the clubs don't have the same opinion and the AFF doesn't have the money. Or around that, if the general family wants to change the constitution clauses, they can make it to Home Minister, and the richest lady in India is also from their family, also their family member and MP in BJP. No. Again, Kumar, you don't know how the system then runs if you think it's going to work that way. And the Thai league in loss, I don't know what the numbers of the Thai league is at the moment, Hannibal. So why India don't have world-class coach? Every country try bringing a world-class coach. Because our coaches think they are world-class now. According to inside sources from clubs, majority Indian players are willing to reduce their current inflated salaries. Who's telling you that? Who's telling you that? There are literally issues going on in different clubs on this matter. I don't think it's sorted. And then the first clubs have also already said, okay, we'll keep the salaries the way they are. Kalyan Chaudhuri is getting exposed in front of sports ministry. Hope they force him to resign. Honey, well, he's exposed in the IOA, he's exposed in the AFF, and he's still there. So when will they remove him? They will never remove him. And they're not allowed to remove him. If they remove him, that's third-party interference. Even though I would love them to do that, because then 99% of sportsmen come from poor families. Hardly you will see sportsmen middle class or rich backgrounds. So rather, depending on sports, I think most people come actually from a middle class or upper class background. There are a lot of sports where that is the case, where equipment and all that stuff is costly. So your 99% of sports person doesn't work. If it's 80, maybe 85, but it's not 99%. Feel all the clubs should make a united stand on no franchisee fee. Let the FFL relegate all the clubs. Gina and I They're not united. That's the one thing. That is the one thing which is also very, very clear and evident. The clubs are not united on this. You know, you know. So it's a very what to say. I don't know what to say where we are. It's very complex, complicated at the moment, and we're not getting where we are, where we need to be. And that's, in my opinion, that's the biggest problem at the moment. It's, and so therefore, you know, so yeah, that's the thing. Emily Harris said they will run the league by themselves. Then why does Babu begging ISA Cups to say yes so that they can get 1 crore from each club? They say one thing and does other things. Isn't that politician speak? Yes, Kumar. Savitri Jindal, grandmother of Jindal BJP MP, richest lady in India, they can simply ask government for AIFF to change constitution league operate. No, they can't. It is not in the hands of the government, guys. That's the other thing. Is it are or are not Suravar? I'm confused now. So why Intercash is not concerned about ISL if the owner is so rich, he's the owner billionaire, but even they are concerned about money loss from club. Intercash is not spending as much as BFC, no? And they're a new club and they want to build something. So their approach is different. I'm trying hard to make my friends to tell the reality of so-called legacy clubs, but the problem is they aren't bothered of Indian football, but only care about their clubs. And ultimate goal is to play ISL and say the main derby. Yeah, right. That's you summed up the problem of a certain set of fans. Yeah. So clubs didn't pay salary to players. They don't have money to pay rent for pitch. How can we defend them? Utsav, they have money to pay. They are not paying because nothing is happening, right? The clubs are saying the clubs are in losses anyway. And those losses will exponentially increase depending on what happens or doesn't happen. So therefore, it is the way it is, right? Indian corruption and mismanagement sports federations are headed by politicians and bureaucrats who often lack a background understanding of the specific sport, leading to poor administration. Yeah, because one of the problems is that Santosh Kashyap made performance worse in women as coach in the recent past, surely. Sir, if Odisha FC doesn't play this season, will they shut down or wait for next season? Prasad, no idea. That is a good question, but no one has an answer for you, right? They could shut shop. If things sort themselves out in the summer, they might be back. Nobody knows what's going to happen, right? If, let's say, 5, 6 clubs now say we're not going to play, then what happens? How can they stop paying salaries like my players that they won't be blacklisted if they open them out to public? How is this justified? Utsav, there's no justification to us. That's the way it is. These are realities. Virat Kohli himself comes from good family. Sunil Chetri comes from good family. X9P says, has all agreed clubs have their venues ready? No. No. There are multiple problems. Players, venues, broadcast, commercials, finances. Players are not willing to do the inflated side. That's what I wanted to say. Okay, yeah. Okay, so Robert, that's what I've heard. So we're on the same page. Okay. Because your first statement said that the players are no players again. If take it from a player's perspective. If I'm XYZ player, I am an older player. I have maybe 2, 3 years to play. I see the situation. Then I take my last paycheck and say, listen, I want my full salary and then I'm sort of gone, right? These are some of the realities of things, right? And it is not my fault that you as a club committed to me a figure X. You know, Zurava understood. I got it. Do we lack talents? Genuine, and it looks like it, no? Either we have it and we haven't found it, right? Uh, or 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 maybe we don't have it. I don't know. This talent thing is something which I always wonder. Why isn't there this Indian exceptional kid somewhere in India who's going to take us to world class level, right? So I don't know if it exists or doesn't exist, but it's a problem for us. Also, I understand when you are new, you are excited. Yes, Bangalore invested so much. No, it is not that. X9P. They invested wisely and did well, but they were also fighting for the title, so they invested a lot to compete with the Mohun Bagan Supergiant, who had put the wage bill higher and higher, and therefore that's the point, right? If again, and that's the point. If you are look at Kerala Blasters when they were not willing to spend over the last 2 years and let some of their best players go. How much of abuse did the management get? Oh, you're not investing, you're not spending, you're not doing this, you're not doing that happens. Even Mumbai City, others have happened. No? Mr. Santosh Kashyap in an interview with IFF News exposed Khalid Jamil and said against him, but he's also putting allegations on clubs not giving Indian coaches chance. And I said, Raj, let them speak, right? Maidan fans were served to see Began Derby. They don't care if it happens in Salt Lake or Kalyani or maybe even Shiliguri for that matter, right? Hey Akash, kind of smiling like he won $1 million lottery. Yeah. Santosh Kashyap, who remember Chova Devi? Again, Hannibal, we've got a few of them in the last few years. The less we say about her is good. Yeah, Raj, I do agree on that. We have talents definitely, but need grassroots coaches like they have in top academies. No, Akash. There are natural talents. I say at the moment I'm at Bayern Munich, I'm watching um Leonard Kahl, right? Exceptional footballer. 17 years old, not even tall. He's smaller than, he's not even 5'7". And but he is an exceptional footballer. And I've said this multiple times on this channel. If there is XYZ talent, an Indian boy who is really good and exceptional, he will, despite the system, um, make it. Right. So therefore, for me, um, these questions, uh, you know, difficult. It's to me is we should have the talent somewhere. One or two exceptional Indian kids, boys or girls, doesn't matter. But you know, um, so therefore that's what it is. Because Kanan don't have a son. This is a clear case of leadership failure. At this moment, there is no statesman like figure who can glue all parties together, or whoever that isn't really interested to untangle the mess. Actually, there is no one. Those there are people who could step up. They're not there in these conversations. Indian football future is darker than mine. Yeah, darker than all of us. But it will be complex for Indian players to go to FIFA, right? For salaries, they only have option to play in India, and any protest might create issues for them later in the future contracts. Onish, it could, but again, going to FIFA is relatively easy. You can, you can go via your Players Association, the Football Players Association of India, FPI could also step in. So there are a lot of things. Chova Devi, who XNP short time coach, former India international. As long as Indian football coaches' egos don't go down, Indian football will never improve. Yeah, however, very big problem. What do you think of the Bengal Super League or any other leagues like those? I think the BSL is failing, right? I mean, compared to that, the Super League Kerala is a success. I don't know of any one of you are watching, but again, it's not working. Mohun Bagan give full salaries to players according to Ref Sports. I've heard that as well, Raj. But again, Mohun Bagan also didn't pay for 7 months' salaries. Mohun Bagan is biggest. I don't want to go to that down road. Do you consider Sunshit a natural talent? No. Sunil is not a natural talent. Baichung is not a natural talent. Those guys worked hard to get where they are, right? I'm Vijan was a natural talent. Changte, natural talent. But the others, most of the others are hardworking guys to get to where they got. Mr. Gonka doesn't care, nor their fans. Yeah, that's a fact. More salary means more cut money, says Blue. Why isn't there any Messi, Ronaldo, Neymar types of superstars coming now? Out of the youth system. Um, I don't know, honestly. If you ask me that way, I don't know. You know? Yeah. So is it true Manolo said that youth certificate is better than Spain is only false propaganda? No, he said that Indian kids can be at that level or whatever. I don't even go, but he didn't say that they were better, but of similar level, which I don't think. We don't need exceptional talents to do good at international level. We need 11 good players. Akash, I would say we need 20 good players to do well, but that exceptional talent could take our football to the next level where we are struggling at the moment, right? We are stuck in our sort of cycle, in our bubble, where we're not getting out and trying to move to the next level, and that is causing us a lot of problems in Indian football. So therefore, for me, if we have that exceptional talent somewhere, I think it would help us. Indian football is darker than my hair. Okay, Bengal people know cut money better. Talent only flourish when there are right coaches at grassroots. Utsav, no. Again, a lot of kids, when we talk about Africa, a lot of these kids, exceptional talent, have made it because they're exceptional talents. So, in a lot of parts of the world, there are no these grassroots coaches, these youth coaches who will make you better. So, and therefore, I say this again and again and again, it's on you, on the kids also. There is some controversy. Okay. BSL is failure. BSL no good football stadium, no football ground, says Xnappy. Even that Bangladeshi wonder kid, Sheikh Morzalin, is a natural talent. He joined football at the age of 14. Yeah. Again, if he joins an academy that late, that's good. Indian football team getting Coco for that case he's flexing. It's Aman, it's the Indian women's under 17s. Ban league is Bangladesh league is better than BSL with all that big names starting it. Okay. There are talks about tiebreak and BSL matches. Burla spoke about it. Also, the AIFF Assistant Secretary resigned. Yeah, there's a lot of controversy around BSL also, no? You will get happy one KSI comes to take initiative and we're doing podcast. Okay. He used to watch De Bruyne from YouTube and self-taught himself. Zarava, but how many can do that? Now that do you consider Apu as a talent or technical player? Kumar, a technical player is a talent, no? Or do you mean a hardworking player? Apuya to me is a talented player, but he blossomed late. Should not Moorman play friendly matches in big cities of Uttar Pradesh to spread awareness? Most people don't know about big clubs of India. No, Abhi. They played in Lucknow against East Bengal last year. So, but what? Why? Why? Mohun Bagan is not running after the UP fan base. Included, there are several players who had international domestic exposure, have their own academy, train kids. I doubt how many of our players have AFC continental license. Utsav, I think a lot of our players have the licenses. Are they really good enough as coach? I don't know what the cricket thing is, and a lot of players have started academies, right? So that is not right. And that is being spread of players not going abroad, but who will them not? No one needs Indian players. Who will take them? I guess Raj is trying to say. Yeah, Raj, I've said this again, and I totally agree with what Gurpreet said. To me, it is very, very right. And those are certain realities. If I, you, we like it or not, those are realities of Indian football as I speak to you today, and that we will not get out of that. Right? That's the problem that Indian football finds itself in. Even if the salaries go down dramatically over the next year and a half, um, you know, um, it's not about the money part of why a player would go abroad. So yeah, these are realities. And also, we always complain of not having strikers. Can we reserve striker position for Indian in ISL? No. Generally, how do you reserve a position for a player in a game like football? I don't know how you can do that. If you have unreal talent, you will succeed. Only need guidance. Many black football comes from so much poverty. One black student studying India, they don't goes to Africa due to lack money. Okay, and XP, I agree. I guess nowadays football is more team game than before. So one player contributing like the big ones will be tougher going forward, in my opinion. Blue, that's true. But again, you still have players of exceptional talent. Lamine Yamal. Look at even Erling Holland, the way he, bulldozes if he needs to. Um, as I said, I spoke about Leonard Carl, Jamal Musiala, all these guys, even, Mbappe. I personally think Komototo was a natural talent. Heard his backstory, but injuries ended his career. So I didn't rate him that highly. I think a lot of people who were around the under 70 team didn't rate him highly. And there was too much of PR around him in 2017. There were better players than him. Is JS's natural talent? Again, you have to have some base talent, but I think Gurpreet belongs to the class of hard working, of having reached where he is now. Yes, Sunil Chetri is not natural talent, but he did so much hard work. Yeah, XIP. Sunil is, um, so therefore is, is again, he's had some failures, and those failures have made Sunil better, stronger. Otherwise, Sunil wouldn't be the man that Sunil is today. So therefore, for me, those things are all interlinked. Very, very important. Failures in your career. Gopis was going good there. Am I correct? Raj was doing okay. You know, um, um, again, insane salary at BFC brought him back, but that's what it is, right? 1 hour, 11 plus minutes. Once more, the reminder: like, share, and subscribe. 22 likes so far. Thanks a lot. But those of you in the room at the moment, 28 of you, do like it if you like what we're talking about. And we stand at 3,697. So we're three short of the 3,700 mark at this moment in regard to subscribers. Thank you very, very much. We're slowly, slowly growing, but we're growing nicely, going towards the 4,000 and the 5,000 mark. So therefore, thanks a lot for your support. And watch the short videos. The viewership has dropped on the short videos, guys. Do watch it. Give me your opinion and what you think. And that's very, very important. Thanks a lot for that. Your live streams feel like a therapy session of seeing garbage on Indian football Twitter. Yeah, Hannibal, that's sadly a problem these days. You live in Germany? Yes, Ninja, I do. Yes, Hannibal, life is good seeing any football condition. Said I work in Tasmania. My son was scouted by one of the junior grade soccer team of Tasmania, but Tasmania failed by seeing his tally of goals and assists in inter-school competitions related. Lachlan, great. Again, great opportunities. See how much he can progress. For India, can we get another Sunil, a better striker? Aman, yes, why not in the future? But again, the Sunil, we will not be able to bake a Sunil Chetri and then say, oh, you know what, we baked him and tomorrow we're going to put him on the field and boom. No, that player has to grow. Also, Aman Chetri was a natural talent whose career ended due to injuries, Nongoma Noram as well. Yeah, Aman most probably amongst those Nongdomba and Kamal I mentioned a lot, but I would have rated Aman higher than those guys. Let's be honest, guys, forget other parts of India, but reality is in Bengal itself, many people don't know Mohanbag and East Bengal. Raj, and that's crazy to think, right? I agree with you on the exceptional talent argument, but I do believe if there is an exceptional talent, some foreign leagues would be the first to discover him. No, because foreign leagues don't bother about us, right? That's the thing. If you think that foreign leagues will come here and pick up a talent because he's exceptional, it doesn't work because minors cannot go to Europe. Sorry, so that's another reason. You know, so yeah, realities, right? It's some of these realities are brutal. A lot of these realities are things that we will not like. Um, and yeah, but that's where we stand. You know, Um, so therefore, these are things where we are stuck now, right? And yeah, not easy, not at all. But that's where we are in the year 2025, right? So that's yeah. Why is there so many scooters coming in many feet? Any sense stop this machine? It's I don't know. Maybe you have to just say I don't want to watch under one of those reels, and maybe you'll get less. I don't know. Many foreign clubs have scout to watch young talent. Yeah, but they don't watch. They watch our market, but again, they will not be able to sign them. To honest, everything in X's garbage. I had the perform so much. Every second person is bought or reach baiting. Yeah, Blue. That's the problem. It was a great, great platform, right? Um, and it has, as Twitter. Um, yeah. So therefore, that's the sad part of us. But yeah, where are we? I don't know. Whenever someone should bust the propaganda of fake news by Ranjit Bajaj. Kumar, go ahead, do it. Go ahead and do it. So where is 27th captain is 17? Ixnan P. Amarjeet was last season with Mohammedan Sporting. Don't ask me where he's now, but he was there last season. East Bengal, Mohunbagan popularity is mostly concentrated to Kolkata, Kalyani and Shiliguri. Is it? Zorawat, from I haven't been around Bengal lately to be able to adjust. I'm saying to judge that, right? Because if you had asked me this question 15 years ago, or even let's say when it was 2013, we were working on a Bengal league, right? There was huge interest in East Bengal and Mohun Bagan across the state, right? Massive, massive, massive interest. So I don't know what has happened, but again, um, the IFA has never really pushed for a pan Bengal interest in football, and yeah, that's the end result is what we see now, right? If only youths and their parents in this country grinded for sports as do for G NEET type of competitive exams, they only waste energy on these things in the prime years of youth. Well, you can't force anyone to say, hey, you want to play this, you're going to play that. That's a reality. East Bengal are mostly popular in the greater Kolkata region. In further district, they're pretty fringe, pretty sure. If you talk someone in Murshidabad or East Midnapur, they wouldn't know most of the time. That's interesting, Luke. That's very, very interesting. I've never thought of it because to me is what I've learned over the last, yeah, since the starting of the ISL in 2006, 14, right? I would have said that the level of interest in the Kolkata clubs has has diminished, right? Because we talk about, oh, East Bengal, Mohang have crores of fans across the board. And then suddenly we realize, like, not true. So therefore, you know, um, that's an interesting thing, and if you look at also, for example, TV ratings or social media things and all that stuff in regard to the ISL, you would have seen that, for example, the Blasters have been top, right, for a while. So yeah, realities. Well, no, sorry to say, with so much of a legacy, there is no own stadium for them. Kumar, the stadium factor to me, infrastructure is something which I told them 20, 25 years ago that you should look at them. They didn't want to do it. But it's a general problem, right? Who has built their own stadium over the last decade? Who? De facto, no one, right? Even building your own training facility, who has done it? I think Dempo Sports Club have done it. Who else have built their own owned facility? I don't know. Right? Interkashi wants to build now a stadium, but on private land, not on government land, which they originally thought of. Punjab FC have had great plans. Roundless Punjab had great plans. None of it has sadly been implemented because it's not easy to build a venue, a ground, a training facility in Indian conditions, right? It, it's easier for a school or a university to do something than for you as a club. How many IPL teams have their own infrastructure? They've got none, right? So that's something that, again, if in international football that would be a huge criteria, but if I'm looking at it from an Indian context, it isn't, right? So these are realities. So yeah, I can't reply them sadly as there's nothing to counter them. Yes, no, but that's the problem, right? How are you going to counter a point saying, oh no, we are pan Bengal and this and that, everything. um Social media makes you think that the clubs are huge. If they are not, that's a question, and I don't think I have an answer to that, right? So that's, yeah, realities of Indian football in the year 2026, where we were trying to discuss points, and we don't know if or what or if is right or wrong. So yeah, uh, it's yeah, um, crazy to think where we are, but that's those are the realities. Mumbai fanfare did get dented after the merger with ATK. Many old generation Mohun fans left supporting nowadays mostly watch from home. For East Bengal, the league title drought for nearly 2 decades. So rather, I think the Mohun Bagan dent came before that. I think the first dent for Mohun Bagan came when they didn't win an NFL or an I-League title for over a decade. So in the 2000 and 2010s until 2015, they lost Mohun Bagan, East Bengal have been losing fans, I think, left, right, and center over the last 25 years, right? And they've lost the upper and middle class who used to support these teams in Kolkata. They've lost them, not completely, but a lot. right? And then the questions of going stadiums and all that stuff, that's a different conversation, right? How many of the people who are speaking about, these clubs and entities actually go to matches? Yeah. 224 Parganas, north and south, Hooghly, Howrah, Kolkata. I think that's the bubble. Further, it's not. And to be honest, why would anyone support them when they have no stakes in outside Kolkata? No, that's another problem, right? East Bengal and Mohun Bagan have never really reached out across the state, right? Yeah. If Odisha FC decide not to play, will they shut down or wait for the next season? And are they going to be relegated to this season, legacy or not? Um, I have no clue, Lucifer. Again, this question has been asked multiple times in the last few days. First of all, I don't know if they're going to shut down. And secondly, I don't even know what they're going to do. I think, if the AIFF itself doesn't know what they're going to do. In other sports, at least you see some progress happening. In football, every day it's getting worse. Turbo, where is the progress in other sports really happening? There is, there not there is, there are problems across the board in Indian sports. If ISL starts from February, which will eventually be the case for you, who are the front runners to win league? Yash, who says the league is starting on 14th of Feb? Today, supposedly things were supposed to be set, and then the next steps of nothing is done. And front runners, I don't even know which team, what team. How am I going to know for front runners? I said this today multiple times to people. You guys are talking about step 3, step 4. You're talking about step 5, step 6. Who's front runner to win? I have no clue. Nobody will have a clue. You'll have to wait, watch the first 2, 3 weeks if the league starts to figure out. So, what's the chance of that we can see player auction or draft nice, and what do you think about it? Lucifer, at the moment, these are all theoretical conversations. Um, Nobody knows. I can't tell you if it's going to happen or not. And with the contracts, the way they've been structured, I find it very difficult because, how many players will you allow to stay? Again, in football, you don't have those provisions as you have in other sports to do the drafts. If someone from another country asks a fan, where is your club stadium? They will say, we don't have them. They will laugh at you. Kumar, not everybody has an own stadium per se around the world. To be honest, there's a sporting context. It said Bengal is going down. Hardly any sportsmen come now, says Arunava. Bengal as a whole is going down, says Blue. Okay, guys. One thing why we fail in sports is we don't really give about sports. Our society, parents push the kids into STEM programs early, completely isolate the children from everything, including sports. Yeah, we've spoken about these things quite a lot here. Gina and I, the educational system does not support a sporting system, right? Heard from a friend of mine that resilience of Indians is increasing in Germany. Is it true? Rather, I have no clue. I'm not facing it again, even though I still have a brown face, black hair. I wouldn't know. But again, the problem is also I see Indians again. The other day, someone on the road speaking loudly and all that. All those civic sense things. We've talked about this. We sometimes call it on ourselves because we can't behave ourselves. Civic sense is a disaster. I had that at puja. People don't clean up after having their food. Oh, terrible, right? We have a cleaning lady for the bathroom now, which we didn't have for over 30 years. All these things. So, sometimes you call it on yourself. Will the sports ministry do any help other than threatening the clubs? They will not have financial right. So any other help? No, Lucifer. What help can they give? How can again? All of you think that the government is going to spend taxpayers' money on a professional football league? Can't happen, right? Um, and the sports ministry hasn't helped with corporate contacts. So these are all things where I would have thought, you might have thought, others might have thought, you could help with this or that, whatever. They haven't been able to help, and that's part of the problem. You know, you know. No, I mean, you see 100-meter number getting broken multiple times throughout the last 2 years. Juniors are throwing 80-meter plus. Youth level wrestling is doing well. We have a second shot putter throwing 90-meter, etc., etc. Turbo, all these things are happening because the athletes in around the world are getting better. right? But are these guys actually going to be able to do something internationally? You know, so therefore, um, yeah, I don't know if we're really getting better. I don't know. League will happen no matter what, even if five teams play. That's the case, I guess. Government will never allow to cancel the league. Yash, I think the government is not a player in this conversation. There are certain financial things, and the AIFF is on the edge. The AIFF is committing more than it can, right? At this stage, as we speak, as we talk. So the question is, can, under these circumstances, the league happen? If four or five entities say no, the league is dead because the funding figures don't add up. The funding mechanism doesn't work. And this is not the first time that the sports minister has got involved in these conversations, right? So we are in a situation where you have to think, can you get things going in the right way? So therefore, for me, that conversation is very clearly um, hasn't happened. Will it happen? I don't know, right? Because the clubs are not, again, yes, there are five teams would say we'll play a league. What do you play? I don't know. Do you play three times, four times against each other? How do you play? What do you play? So very difficult. As long as our doesn't increase the risk amount, education will always be a priority. PCI. What do you mean GDP? Priority over sports. Yeah. Listen, to focus on education is not wrong, right? I mean, education is a very important part of life of X, Y, Z, everyone. Um, and it should be. It's not a question of why it should not be. Acha, and um, and therefore, yeah, that's it. Acha, capita income. Sorry, yeah, per capita income. Sorry, I didn't realize the short form. So that's the thing. We can only judge by numbers in certain sports. Nothing is a guarantee in sports. We can't just magically win medals out of nowhere. True, but that's the point, right? And again, India also has, weirdly, it happens always around the Olympics, um, doping problems, right? BJP and Congress are allowing Maharashtra local board elections. Our clubs should learn something. Though, yeah. Our so-called sports journalists are more concerned about declining cricket's popularity in West Indies than talking about the ISL fiasco. Iron is these Caribbean islands have qualified for FIFA World Cup. Gina and uh, I have worked in the Caribbean, in the West Indies. You would call it West Indies. Those guys will call it in the Caribbean. I've done some development work. And cricket has never been as big as it was. I remember 20 years ago, um, the Antigua and Barbuda Football Association president was a gentleman called Merv Richards, the brother of a certain Viv Richards. And Merv will always tell you, don't bother, Arunava, whatever Viv tells you, football is bigger in the Caribbean. Merv always said that. Merv always said that. He said, don't listen to Viv. Football in the Caribbean is bigger, man. He will always say that, right? So these are realities. And this is something, Gina and I, which an Indian journalist will never understand. Because how much does an Indian journalist know about the Caribbean? He knows nothing. He might have been there a few times. Um, so that's the reality. What's that Coca-Cola news? Raj, Coca-Cola has come forward and they will support the Indian women's under 17 national team, for the next 3 years. So it's not even the senior team, it's the under 17 women's team that they're supporting. How many clubs agreed till now? Please tell with names. Who have agreed? Jamshedpur FC, East Bengal, Mohun Bagan is, I think, again back on the edge, but again, I think I'll say Mohun Bagan. Mohammedan Sporting, Northeast United, Punjab FC, 6. SC Delhi, I think, is back on the edge. I'm sorry, let me just. uh, and Interkashi. Yeah, those are the seven, right? So let me just quickly go through Indian Super League. Just one second. Let me just go through the clubs before I make a mistake. So amongst the clubs, Bangalore is on the edge. Chennai FC on the edge. FC Goa on the edge. Delhi SC was in. Sounds like they're on the edge. Jamshedpur FC is in. Kerala Blasters on the edge. Mohammedan Sporting in. East Bengal in. Mohun Bagan supposedly in, but maybe back in the edge. Um, Mumbai City on the edge. Northeast United in. Odisha FC is the club which is out at the moment. Punjab FC is in. Inter Kashi is in. So that's how we should divide it. I didn't think sports has much to do with per capita income. There are so many countries who do well without a big per capita income. Toba, I agree. I do agree. That's a point. But now that the mindset of schools, colleges, and universities should change them and towards sports and consider it as physical exercise class rather than sports as curriculum. Kumar, yeah, but this has been conversations, I think, with a number of sports ministers over the years, but nothing has changed, right? So as long as these things don't change and radically change, you know, so let's see. Casey taking all the credit for the guys behind this. Raj, it's Coca-Cola. It's not Kalyan Chaube. It is not the sports ministry or anyone else. It's Coca-Cola, you know? So that's the thing. Wait, Monma Superjan is withdrawn from the post league. Zoravar, again, I'm hearing something, you know? I'm hearing something. So I'm just saying, because the numbers at the end of it don't add up, right? So therefore, there are different conversations and different strings which are moving at the moment. Viv Richards himself played football while growing up. I think he represented his island in 1975 FIFA World Cup qualifiers. Okay, I don't. Yeah, he's played football. Yeah, I remember for Antigua Barbuda, but don't ask me which year. Good to see Intakasha making their own stadium first ISL club. Aman, they're not the first. Jamshedpur FC have their own stadium in Jamshedpur. Tata Nagar, the JRD Tata Sports Complex or the JRD Tata Stadium. Again, there is a first ISL team which has it. West Indies was never a cricket team. Each Caribbean island has its own identity. Zoravar, yes, but again, West Indies cricket as a joint team. Again, have you heard about, I don't know, Barbados, about Jamaica, about Trinidad, about their own teams, or even Antigua? No, it's always been about a joint team, you know. And so, no. Said you come in Agartala? No, sadly, I've never been to Agartala, even though I've got friends in Agartala, but I've never been to Agartala, if you ask me that way. Right. Yep. Aman, don't forget, yeah, that they have it. So that is that. The thing is, most of these nations which don't have facilities or low PCI incorporate diaspora footballers. Yeah, but Zoravar, the diaspora thing is a thing of the last 10, 15 years, right? Um, and but we've had talent from XYZ country coming through even before that, right? I mean, when Cameroon broke through in the 90s, Roger Milla and this and that and everything, um, it is something which was yeah, which has happened, right? So therefore, that's the thing. Thanks, love back to Tripura as well. Something which India can't. Zoravar, India can. It's just that the political class needs to be ready. If all the clubs owned a stadium, would we still have this issue? Yeah. Owning stadiums is not the issue about this. Good night, Raj. We'll catch you. And a reminder to all of you tomorrow, a little later than usual, I'll be doing a watch along of the Super Copa final between Barcelona and Real Madrid. So I haven't done a live watch along for a while since the semi final of the Super Cup last month. So therefore, tomorrow night, 12:30 Indian time, FC Barcelona against Real Madrid from Jeddah in the Spanish Super Copa. Why would anyone care if they like cricket or not? I don't think they generate any meaningful money anyways. Yeah, it's yeah. Kenya suffers from poverty, unemployment, and many other issues. Still fired of us in rugby, sevens, boxing, swimming, athletics, football, and many other sports. They were top 20 in Olympics medal tally. Yeah, there are a lot of countries. Do you think a country like Curacao could qualify for FIFA World Cup without diaspora players? No, Zoravar. Curacao, not. But again, Curacao, again, knowing Curacao, knowing Suriname, there is a different link. And again, diaspora is, yeah, because those countries, for them, it is not diaspora, right? So there are a lot of these countries where this, like for us, diaspora is diaspora. For these countries, it isn't, right? Then you go in, you go out. Again, a lot of people who now even live in Curacao have been born in the Netherlands, right? Suriname, the same thing, or even other parts. So in the West Indies, you see it differently anyway. Yeah, so have a good night. So therefore, for me, these are some of the things that we need to keep in mind. But to me, if you ask me, yeah. Um, so therefore, that's not going to happen. So do you think Ranji will become Indian football team coach in 2030? He's not a coach. How can he become coach? He doesn't have a coaching license, right? Hey, Roshan, Coca-Cola sponsored, really good news. Better than nothing, right, Roshan? Again, it is CSR on the sidelines of the FIFA World Cup Trophy Tour ending up in India. They always do something or the other in the countries that they go, and this is what they've committed to do, and they want to put in money. So yeah, I take it. I would say let's take it, let's be positive and say, hey guys, great that they're doing it, because any money coming into Indian football at the moment is good money, because we have a problem with the money part. Right. 1 hour 36, meaning 96 minutes of this live on this Saturday evening. Again, once more, the reminder, tomorrow night, a live watch along of the Supercopa de España final between Barcelona and Real Madrid. Yeah, do join me on that tomorrow. And so that's the thing. What sponsor Coca-Cola? How much money? There's no money at the moment, from what I understand. It's more of a help and support. They're supporting the Indian under 17 women's team towards the Asian Cup this year, and then are going to help them for the next 3 years with exposure and other things, supposedly. So therefore, that's a good thing from their side. Right. Once more, like, share, and subscribe Arunfoot here on YouTube. Visit my other social medias, visit arunfoot.com, and do support me as we stand at 3,698. So we're too short of the 3,700 mark. And reminder, tomorrow, so therefore, yeah. So therefore, let's see. To see you tomorrow evening. Just saw the headline of KSI and Ranveer save Indian football YouTube. Okay, I don't know what you mean, what you're talking about. What you're talking about, I've not seen it. What does that mean? Uh, yeah. Okay. Why did India stop hosting Nehru Cup? It was a good tournament. Avi, because again, it was removed, and then they started the Intercontinental a few years back. They have invested in grassroots football in this country. Now they allow OCI players to have these amazing NRI footballers. This country is a mess, and I'm fed up with it. Yeah, Gina and I, very well said. The sad thing is that all the women's teams that have qualified for the Asian Cup still has no roadmap by the AIFF in terms of their preparations. Think, welcome, because the little time they have, they're trying to sort out the mess in the men's game, and they've not been able to sort out that mess. And therefore, the mess has been growing, the mess is growing, and it's getting more and more and more. And they're welcome. That's where we are at this moment as I speak to you. Right. On this Saturday evening, I'll come to an end of this live. Once more, a reminder, like, share, and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, please do. And even if you're watching it later, leave a like behind. Watch my short videos. Again, push those videos, like them, hype them, and that more people join in our honest conversations on Indian football. I need your support to grow my community, not only here, but also on my X, on my Instagram. Visit arunfoot.com. And thank you. And as I said, tomorrow, 12:30 a.m., Spanish Supercopa, Barcelona against Real Madrid. A live watch along. Do join me for that, and I'll catch you tomorrow. Bye and good night.